Hello everybody, this is Patrick Butler and welcome to part 2 of the unboxing video that I did recently. Now I'm not going to show every single thing that was inside the box in this part, so if you want to see the rest that I actually showed in the unboxing video that I did in part 1, go watch that video, and you can either watch it after or you can basically wait to watch this and watch part 1. That's up to you. Now, the package that was sent to me was from YouTube user It's Frank, and I forgot to read this note that he sent me because I had to abruptly end part 1 because the dogs were barking fiercely and I don't like to be interrupted while I'm doing a video. So thankfully, it's peace and quiet, so I have no worries about the dogs, and I can get on with part 2. Now the note reads, "Hi Patrick, enjoy, take care, bye from It's Frank." And I forgot to tell you this, Frank, in the last video because I had to abruptly end part 1 as a result. All I gotta say is thank you very much, Frank, for the package that you sent me. And for one thing, the DVD that you got me last year as a Christmas present, of course, I talked about to you in a private message, and I really enjoyed this enough that you basically decided to send people this particular DVD, and I know you sent a copy to Brian Wilmer. And surprisingly enough, he really enjoyed it. And I guess it was thanks to my recommendation that Frank basically sent a copy to Brian Wilmer as well. So, Brian, you gotta thank me for that. Because if it wasn't for my recommendation, Frank probably would have sent it. Or he might have. I'm not sure. I don't know that for a fact. He could have sent it to you anyway, even if I didn't recommend it. It wouldn't have mattered. So, but thankfully, thanks to my recommendation, I have the right to say that. So, and by the way, thank you, Frank, for this, and I really appreciate it. I still really enjoy this. I just wish it would have been on Blu-ray, though. I wish. It's not your fault, of course, Frank. It was the fault of Disney not putting this out on Blu-ray. I wish it was out on Blu-ray. That's all I really got to say about that. Now, I'm going to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about in this video to you, Frank, and to everybody else that wants to know about certain things that I'm going to talk about in this video. The first thing I'm going to talk about is these. Now, after the unboxing video was filmed, I actually went back and watched these, and I really enjoyed these. So thank you, Frank, for sending me these. I really appreciate it. And thanks to you, my Peanuts film collection is actually complete, at least until the Peanuts movie comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. Now, I will tell you this, Frank. I went to go see the Peanuts movie with my girlfriend on November 6th. The only thing that sucked was the 3D. I didn't really like the 3D that much. I'll be quite honest. Go see the Peanuts movie in 2D if you have not seen it, Frank. And to everybody else, I did really enjoy the Peanuts movie otherwise. But thanks to Frank, for now, I have the entire Peanuts film collection. Of course, I already had this, and it's been re-released, so if you have not gotten this, go get the re-release. And of course, thanks to Frank, I got these. That's films 3 and 4. And of course, Bon Voyage Charlie Brown was the last to be released theatrically until the Peanuts movie, of course. And the other movie that I gotta show was not a theatrical release. It was a direct-to DVD and Blu-ray release, and that is Happiness is a Warm Blanket, Charlie Brown. So that's all I got to show of Peanuts, at least for movies. However, there is one more thing I want to show you, Frank. And I talked about this with you in a private message. And I'm talking about one of these books. And I'm going to show you one of these books right now. This, of course, is the Complete Peanuts 1981 to 1982 collection. And these are all in black and white, just to let you know, Frank. And I talked about these sets of books with you on a private message. And you probably... I just wanted to keep you informed about the comic strips. Because there are certain comic strips that were basically used for certain specials, which is pretty cool. I know if you get the 64 to, I think it's the 63 to 64 one, you'll see some comic strips that were used for the TV special You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown. And that is pretty cool. And that is available right now. I know they're doing soft cover versions of the Complete Peanuts books. They're only at the first 4 books. There's going to be more in the near future. And these are pretty much lower priced books. So if you couldn't afford them, you'll be able to afford them now. The thing about it, I've been collecting the hardcover books because they're definitely worth having. And that's all I gotta say about the Complete Peanuts books. I've been collecting those for quite a while. I just haven't gotten the latest ones. Now, I do want to tell you all that the final Complete Peanuts gift set will be released next year, because there's going to be a 26th book. I just found that out a couple of days ago, I believe, but I'm not so sure. Now, the last thing I want to talk about that I got in the unboxing is these. Yep, Frank, I want to talk about these. It's about time I talk about these. Now, I've been reading this quite a bit. This is pretty cool. I definitely like this. And I read quite a bit of that after the first part of the unboxing was over. I still got to read this, but I noticed that one of the stories, part of it I read before. Because I got to tell you something, Frank. Here is a story that you probably didn't know. Because I was going to talk about this when I was going to talk about a particular show that I used to watch. Because, of course, I have Sonic the Hedgehog, the complete series. Because I used to watch Sonic the Hedgehog on ABC. And then I heard of the comic. And surprisingly enough, I got interested in the comic. And I gotta show you this, Frank. Now, this is not the original issue that I actually originally had. No. This is not my original copy. But this is the issue that I had. This was the very first issue that I ever got back in the day. This is, what's it, issue 17. Yeah. And surprisingly enough, on the other side, I got issue 240 as well. And that was my first issue in a long time. I just wanted to point that out. And surprisingly enough, issue 17 is also on this book, which of course is Sonic the Hedgehog Archives Volume 5. I just had to read that right. It was either 5 or 6. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get that right or not. My only disappointment with these books is the fact that they don't look right, and they should actually look like the actual comic. Because if you actually get this issue and look at issue 17 on this, it just doesn't look right. That's my only disappointment with this book. And besides that, though, these books are really good. And even though I feel that they're a little bit off colored and whatever or not, they're still good. This is the only archive book I actually have. But I just wanted to point that out, Frank, that I used to get the comics in this one particular store, and once the store didn't have it anymore, that's basically when I stopped getting them. I should have gotten a subscription for it, that particular comic, but never did. I probably should have. That was my only disappointment, is after certain stores didn't carry it anymore. That's the only reason why I stopped getting them, is because of that reason. Thankfully, I have a comic shop where I live, so I could go to the comic shop and get the latest issue if I wanted to. But I don't do that. I don't do that, Frank. But I just wanted to talk about these particular books, and I thank you very much for getting me these, Frank. Hopefully this won't be the last. Hopefully there'll be more in the near future. So, but I just wanted to tell you that I used to be a fan of the comic myself. I know Brian Wolmer's a big fan, and I know that he's got a subscription to the comic. Maybe someday I should get a subscription to the comic as well. But that's not a big deal, Frank. I just wanted to let you know that I used to be a Sonic the Hedgehog comic person back when I was a teen. That's all I wanted to mention. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the codes that you sent me, Frank. All I gotta say is thank you very much. Now, not every single code I was able to actually get points off of, because they already been entered, and I think it's because I probably had some of the DVDs and Blu-rays that those codes were based off of, and that's probably the reason why I couldn't get all of those codes to be entered, because it's basically because I probably have quite a bit of DVDs and Blu-rays that you probably had the codes for, and I probably had some of those DVDs and Blu-rays and oriented the codes. So, but it just depends on which codes you send me, Frank. It's basically up to you, and I just wanted to point that out. However, though, I'd like to thank you very much for sending me codes, and I'd like to thank you very much for actually getting me DVDs and Blu-rays that had Disney Movie Awards codes, because thanks to you, I was able to get, this is one of them, The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under 2 movie collection, since I did not have these movies on DVD and Blu-ray. And surprisingly enough, after filming the unboxing video, I actually got this particular DVD and Blu-ray. Robin Hood. And it's about time too, because I originally had this movie on VHS and I did not have it on DVD or Blu-ray. So thank you very much, Frank, for the codes. And if it wasn't for those codes, I wouldn't have gotten Robin Hood or the Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under 2-pack. And that's pretty much it, Frank. Thank you very much for the package that you sent me. For the rest of you, Frank's channel is down below in the description box. Definitely check him out. And the shout out is to him. So, thank you very much for watching, y'all, including you, Frank. This video is for you. And I will catch you all next time. Oh, and by the way, I'm probably going to do a review on this particular graphic novel in the near future, because I actually also like this, and it's also thanks to Frank that I got this. So, but that's it for now, and I will catch you all next time. So, thank you very much for watching, and peace out, everybody. Bye for now.